doing a little bit of a dry fit, mock fit, whatever you want to call it. So I've torqued them down to 90 foot-pounds, which is technically the torque rating for 5/8 11 stainless steel. And we're just gonna kind of see how those all lay in there. If the heads are flush with the chain plate, how much the fiberglass cracks with just the washer, if we need to do a backing plate or not. I heard a couple little crackles in there, so that's not ideal, but it's also kind of just not that big of a deal either, because we already have a full inch of fiberglass on the outside, a half inch of fiberglass on the inside, and a half inch of stainless steel in between those two. So I think, you know, we're pretty freaking solid here. To add a backing plate might be a little bit of overkill, but I kind of like to overkill things, so.
You wouldn't say.
Yeah.
Let's check them out.
So these, when they were loose and just kind of sitting in there, they looked a little bit cockeyed or kind of, you know, slanted out at the bottom here. This one still is a hair slanted out, so I might try and bore the drill bit up just a hair like that to kind of make that sit flush. This one's definitely out still. You can see the top of that. I can fit, you know, a dime in there. So we'll probably try and pull that one out, take the drill bit and just kind of angle it down and see if we can bore out a little bit more of that. I know it's not like super great for strengthening, but also I don't want this to be kind of like that for water intrusion and for kind of point loading with it just being catching a certain angle of this too, instead of being flush against the whole plate. So anyways, that did suck into the hole really nicely. Look at that. There's like no gap there at all. I'm pretty freaking happy with that. And that actually bent more than I thought it would. So
You gotta count your wins because that's how they were originally going to look. Look how shiny it is. I can see Connor.
did such a good job. Oh, it's a mirror. That's why I'm gonna really one of these.
Mirrored finish.
You got a full length mirror.
Yeah. But yeah, it would have been these big dark ones. Look how shiny they turned out. Connor's little diagram to know which direction to bore the holes.
See the long arrow? That means a lot down. The short arrow just means a little bit up. A little bit up. You like that?
So smart. You, Connor.
Pretty impressed with this freaking drill. This
I
is
heard
a
a
paddle mixer.
I heard a really weird sound though.
High torque. Look at that. Pretty good. That's impressive.
Just kind of loosen up the nuts on this so Connor can bore these holes so the bolts can sit flush. That's what he's working on. I take these off and sanded some of the paint down, getting it prepped. More prep. Never ends.
So since I'm trying to just bore this out, I don't want to mess up the chain plate at all, but I do want to kind of get this cutting edge. It's not really a cutting edge, but it's semi-sharp and it'll wear into things a little bit. I want to use that part to bore out kind of the inside of the boat here, but I don't want to get the inside of the chain plate because that's a nice square right there. So what I'm going to do is just use this diamond little wheel on the Dremel tool and just grind off these little parts right here just on the first little bit so that I can use that for leverage to kind of straighten out the drill without boring into that metal.
Smart.
Getting better. You guys probably can't see that little bit of a difference, but it's definitely getting there, almost sitting flush now.
He's gonna tighten it up. Let's see how it looks.
Getting ready. Malvina is just sanding everything down, rough up the surface just a little bit for the 4000 to stick to. We are using the 4000 because it is more rated for UV light, and this is going to get some good sunlight. We are about to bolt these things up. Let's go.
Oh. Uh-oh.
That'll be fine. That's the pilot hole that we drilled first.
What kind of pilot hole is that?
A bad one.
It's a wrong spot.
It was more of a drain hole than a pilot hole. Our alignment hole, we'll call it.
Alivo.
Alignment hole.
Alignment hole. We're gonna have to make Shanti songs for all the work we do.
I think we're gonna come up with new Alivo songs all the time too.
Pilot hole, a pilot hole for the chain plates.
To drain.
Pilot holes.
Good one. An ounce of preparation is worth a pound of cure. So we are taping all this off, and since we're gonna get caulking all over the place, hopefully just be able to pull the tape off and be clean after that. Instead of going through a million paper towels, we're going through a million pieces of tape.
A million? Just a few. So now he's cutting just around the bolts. So it's perfectly around it. So the sealant can come right out and still be glued right onto the bolt, but not onto the chain plate. Oh no, we painted our chain plate blue. Oh no.
I'm blue, da-ba-dee-da-ba-da.
Walk to go get paper towels and he's doing it.
Coloring.
Ladies and gentlemen. We went from blue to white. Let's go.
All right.
Okay, sending in. Let's do bottom. There it is. There it goes. Nice. Kind of tape these off to try to protect these a little bit. I'm just putting some sealant on. Connor's on the inside, and as soon as I put the bolts in, he starts cranking on tightening. Okay, one next to it's coming in. That's our first external chain plate mounted. Come with Connor.
Come with me through the port light. Looking good. We got two washers on here. I got one a little bit bigger than the other. I think the bigger one is 1 5/8 or something like that. They almost meet up in the middle, and this is also uneven. That a backing plate would probably, you know, kind of create little pressure points even more than the washer was. So that's our thinking right now. We're gonna leave these bolts long, and we can always add a little piece of G10 backing plate in there. If you can see, we have about an inch of fiberglass on the outside, a 1/2 inch of stainless steel, and a 1/2 inch more of fiberglass on the inside here. So I don't really think we need a backing plate. But we shall see. We'll be inspecting these soon anyway, since we installed them personally and we're not professionals. Look at her go, look, making them look all pretty. Wiping it up ever just so. Good job. We'll see if that tape around the bolts did anything.
I know, I'm very curious.
And then we can scrape off the excess when it dries. Good job. It's about to kick off right now, so I gotta get this in there, but this is just a light mixture of colloidal silica, thickened epoxy. I'm just trying to pour this all in there. I got everything all taped off, so hopefully we'll be alright. And if my thinking is correct, we should be able to just fill that little gap. There was a little bit of gap on this side. It was maybe a 1/8 of an inch or something on this side, and I'm hoping that by pouring this in there and having this all taped off so it's not going to drip down, it'll kind of fill that whole gap, so we won't have any gap in between the hole and the chain plate. Since this chain plate's super sturdy, there's no way to suck that in towards the hole, but since the whole shape is a little bit funky, that'd be a really tough bend for them to recreate. So we just got it bent like that. Now we're filling that in, and hopefully that'll just kind of level out in there. That's why I did it a little bit thinner mix, so that we can, so it'll self-level a little bit. And I think it's looking pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Epoxy master. Here she is.
I was gonna put the microlite little fairing filler blend in there also, but I mixed up a little bit too much of the colloidal silica one, so I just topped it all off so it's pretty much level with the toe rail right there, and that looks pretty freaking good to me. Hopefully it doesn't start draining all the way down. By that time I was gonna have a thicker mix was the plan, but I think I taped it off good enough and we should be solid there. Right, I don't know if you guys can see that, but that epoxy did settle down a little bit lower than it was at first. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix a little top layer of the 410 little fairing filler. That's actually a very similar color to the toe rail here. So that'll be perfect because I won't even have to paint it. Dripped out a little bit here, but it's just barely getting sticky, and I think the key is you want to add more epoxy before it fully cures, or else you have to sand it or it won't stick. So I'm going to get to that while it's still a little bit wet. It's semi-firm right now.
Another long day, sun setting. And we are finishing up. At least the chain plate is glued. We decided to take the tape off this one a little bit earlier, and Connor's getting the first layer of epoxy filled in.
Yeah, we'll see how that one settles. Maybe we'll add more. Maybe that's enough. We shall see.
Just trying to drink coffee in here and
just out here making a mess.
Mayhem.
Noise. Going through tons of Sawzall blades on one tab here.
Go ahead, keep working. Show the background soundtrack. Lovely.
What I'm doing, I don't know if you guys can see that, but these are the cuts that I normally make, and those teeth are all dull. So luckily this one I'm spaced off a little bit, so I get to use this part of the blade. So I get to recycle all these old blades that I've been saving for years. So,
good job.
Call that a win.
That's
Done.
some trust right there. You cut my fingers.
Good work. So there is a good amount of pitting right there. I don't see anything across the top as far as corrosion all the way through. Pitting is a little concerning, and that's just at the top. And so who knows what it looks like down here underneath too. Just more reinforcement that we did this right.
Nice job, Connor. Connor getting everything prepped, sanded, taped off, and ready. We're trying something a little bit new. With the bolts this time, we have taped the heads of them, so hopefully it will be a little bit easier to just peel that off instead of, we tried yesterday just to wipe everything down, and you know, you just kind of still get some white stuff. Hopefully that will work better.
Good job.
Got another one. Super colorful. Got those in. Connor's tightening them right now.
Candy striping.
It's a candy cane.
When we were first thinking about this project, I kind of didn't want to mess up the lines of the boat. Thought it might look funny, you know. Now that they are up, this is the first shot of them actually installed for the starboard side. But they look pretty nice, actually, right? Looks way tougher. I like it. She got my mechanic's pants on. Look at all those grease stains. She must work.
Woohoo! One more added on. She looks good. It's almost like we're repping the Seahawks. Go Seahawks! This one, our first one, we epoxied. It's super unfortunate. We should have taken off the tape way sooner. But we'll take some tools and get to adjusting that one. It's alright. That was our first one, so we knew we were going to make some mistakes, but now we got a good little technique. So Connor's tightening up from the inside. That's why everything kind of oozed out from tightening it. I'm going to clean that up and take the tape off immediately. Last one on the port side. Woohoo! Fast speed. Almost. Second to last.
Getting there.
Can you believe that though? We've been talking about doing chain plates since the day we bought this boat. 7 months later, we're finally doing it.
Yay. What a project.
And it's kind of crazy that we're like installing them all in the last 2 days. Maybe it'll take one more.
So much prep work.
So much prep.
So much measuring work.
So much tinking.
Everything.
Tinking.
And then now it's just done.
And researching.
We still have one more to go for the back stick, but this is the majority of it, and we're getting, I don't want to jinx it.
Yeah, let's stop talking. You excited for Christmas?
Christmas in Mexico?
Mm-hmm.
Feliz Navidad. Can't wait. Love that.
It's my jam.
It's my favorite song in the whole world. Right, look at that.
Alright.
Alvin is excited because it's the Seahawks colors.
Oh, go Hawks! Shiny. You can see a reflection. We just had a smoothie, so I just picked blueberries out of my teeth looking. It's the chain plates. Alright, I better focus. He's gonna start drilling. And since we have this time to reflect, I'm wearing Connor's pants. They're definitely too big, but I'm so in love with them. Why don't girls wear jeans like this? Because I have shorts underneath. Kind of like boxers. And instead of, I never like jeans because they're just so tight. The one jean I have that I really like, they're super loose on me and they're just kind of like super fun. And I'm gonna have to get some of these.
That's my girl. How are you? Just cleaning up mess with no gloves on? Her least favorite thing in the world is gloves.
Because Connor buys
She
them
likes
for
washing
hands.
her hands.
His hands are too big, so they're ginormous.
My hands aren't too big. Your hands are too small.
No, I'll try to grow them. I'll work on that. Oh yeah, that looks good. Oh, besides that bolt.
Oops.
Our boat neighbors just came by and he was like, dang, look at those shiny, sexy chain plates.
We got the sexiest chain plates on the whole block here.
Am I supposed to use gloves?
So it's time. We got them all bolted up and ready to put this place back together. That's all the bolts and washers and everything. I doubled up the washers and it seems to be good. And now we are redoing the insulation, the old yellow insulation. A bunch of little pieces like this, just all kind of like 10 by 10 pieces pieced into this area. So that can only do so much insulation, and that's old stuff. This is kind of the newest addition that I know of, at least. So 1 inch will give us a R6 value, which is even better than the old foam insulation, which was like R3 for 1 inch. So pretty cool. Stoked on this. It was only 30 bucks for the sheet, and we'll be able to do both walls with that. Gotta say, I'm pretty proud of how that turned out. Looks professional. All came out flat, and the bolts on this side were a little bit into it, but I just was able to kind of bang that in there, and everything came out nice, so I didn't have to cut any extra holes. And yeah, hopefully that keeps us cool.
Hey, Connor has taken his measurements. He's squeezing in our brand new insulation that looks fabulous. And then the professional way to get this all the way in is...
You have to hit it just so, like this. Be careful you don't hit the bolts on the other side, as that might hurt. And then a little extra tap there, and it's all good.
So you have to punch it.
Yes, punching is required. It's not in the instructions, but it is required. My gangster why? Sagging, bagging.
Look at all the work I've been doing. What have you been doing, Connor? Why did we walk all the way over here, Connor?
Because we wanted to show you the chain plates. And now, since these are a new part of the boat, we've already done a christening of the boat, but we haven't done a christening.
We have been holding on to this bottle of champagne for way too long. And I think the chain plates are a worthy thing to celebrate. Should we pop it?
Let's do it.
Who's this from? Is this from Kim or your dad?
I don't know.
It may be from my
Kim one.
friend Kim.
Oh.
Whoop! Hopefully,
It stayed in the water. Yeah, it stayed on the dock and everything. We're safe, folks.
hopefully it didn't
No
put
fish were harmed during the making of this video.
Or boat, so hopefully that didn't hit a boat.
We have to pour some
Yeah, cheers to the boat.
for the chain plates.
For the chain plates.
All right, the rest from me.
Saved. Hey, save some for me.
Don't look at this side of the boat, it's a mess.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy and messy, but we're getting there. Sometimes you gotta get super messy before it all comes together. And we're out of here. And look, I just found this at the garbage can. I was taking the recycling out. We're not sure if this is gonna fit onto the boat, and we're not even sure if it works, but this is looks like a brand new air conditioning, and we're gonna give it a try since we got Connor the MacGyver, aka McGuire.
See how nice that one is? That's pre-champagne. And then we have this one. Look at that chunker out of there. I got a little carried away on the punch-in right there. But we're having a good time, you know? It'll still do its job.
First and foremost, we just kind of organized and cleaned. Wow. 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 And then we put this wall back now that we have a musician wanting to share his art. Go ahead, babe. One day he is gonna crush it one day on this. But when we put the external chain plates on, we put our wall back together. These had 2 big speakers, and the speakers were actually really, really, really heavy, and we took them out because they don't even work. We don't have a CD player, and I don't think we're going to get a CD player. And I was thinking about, maybe drawing some dolphins on it or getting creative with that hole. But instead, I was just having some coffee here, and why not hang both of our ukuleles? So Connor's got one up. You want to put the other one up? Look at us musicians. Oh, right here in my hand. Keeping them safe. Just a little Velcro.
Got this roll of Velcro, doing low voltage work, tidying up all that Cat 5 cabling. Cut that, I need scissors.
Alright, check it out. Our new wall. Don't make fun of me. Connor didn't help spell check me. There's an apostrophe. I guess it's called. This is the McGuire's boat. This is our boat. You can't take it, pirates, but pretty cool. Now we just got to become more musical.
We're replacing one old type of music with another old type of music.
What's that?
Old speakers with old ukuleles. With a
Thanks everyone for following along. And if you're like us and want to view our episodes without advertisement, check out Alivo Sailing on Patreon. You have the option to join our community who enjoys ad-free content and other ways of connecting with us. Once you're on Patreon, you can click memberships where it'll take you to the 3 tiers we offer. We offer the Happy Hour Mate, the Weekend Cruiser, and also the Liveaboard. This is a brand new addition we started to explore, so give us a holler if there are features you would like to see, and let's grow this Alivo community. Thanks, y'all. Now go seize the day.